Hi Neil, I'm doing this on behalf of Maddie, who is my godchild who's living in the Philippines. And because of that, I've got a very good understanding of what the people in the Philippines have been going through. Not only have they had these recent storms, but a lot of people don't know, but they had a volcanic or a volcano eruption that has destroyed a lot of their properties there. Maddy is one of them. She's had to move out of her house because it completely got destroyed. Is living in a temporary accommodation. Maddy's got to return to her old house because the person who owns the home she's currently in needs to repair that because of the storms. Maddy, I'm sure, have no trouble once she gets this half introduction from me to supply you with photographs and pictures of the actual damage that's done. This appeal is not just for Maddy, and Maddy can soon collect other friends similar to herself, i.e. single mothers who've been left with 3 or 4 children to look after. That is particularly Maddy's case. I personally believe Maddy is a direct descendant of Mary Magdalane, as are many of the people, the women on the Philippines. But this will be verified soon, I believe, through the Vatican, as will other travels that are known that Mary Magdalane took. But without going into overtly religious thing, you can look this up for yourself. May I ask you, Neil, in all humility, just to check out the new film that's been released called Mary Magdalane? And if, as I feel it will strike a chord within you, because this film's so well made, you know it's based on fact. The facts are that Jesus chose Mary to head up the new church, that he went off on his travels after he'd come off from the cross, couldn't really hang around there because the same people try and crucify him again. And Mary went off on her travels with lots of female followers. Those female followers obviously procreated, had children, because that's the role of the female. And those relatives and descendants are, I believe, a lot of them in the Philippines and a lot within Thailand. This will be verified one way or the other. But down to earth, the women in the Philippines, as I've called it, do need help. These are single mothers, all with children that have been left in the lurch to care for sometimes up to 2 or 3 children. Maddy's home, I know, has been desiccated. I've offered to go across there because I'm a bit into pyramids and how pyramids can be incorporated on wells to help purify the water, because the water has become tainted. And there's a lot of research. You can check this out, Neil. The Russians, believe it or not, have done a lot of research into pyramids and their practical applications. Not only can they purify and neutralize toxic materials, I'm talking radioactive materials, I'm talking known toxins, but they also enhance medicines. Things like antibiotics are enhanced by being put under a pyramid. Seeds are altered and they have a 30 to 80% increase in yield. They're also disease resistant. So we have a lot to learn and do, if you like, with pyramids, and that's my main interest. I've developed a system of generating one's own medicine just using water, because water holds everything around it, as Emoto has discovered and shown. You can take water from various sources, freeze it, and you can see the crystalline patterns vary from source to source. I've built on this research and now using a pyramid, the flower of life, which is a sacred symbol. You can actually see videos. If you want to suss me out, fine. I've been working doing many videos. They're all on YouTube. My name is Laird because I am a Scottish Laird, and that helps also filter out all the other Graham Clarks. It's a common name, right? Laird Graham Clark Lifebringer. Now, Lifebringer is a unique ministry, anointing, if you like, given me by the Jesus Fellowship Church. This goes way back to 1988. So this isn't some ego thing. I've just decided to call myself Lifebringer. I've had this name officially and within the confines of a church for, well, do me maths, 30 odd years. I'm known in the Findorn Foundation as Lifebringer because when I did spend some time in the foundation, there's another Graham Clark. And so often with this case in communities, they ask if I've got a spiritual name or whatever, and I gave the name as Lifebringer. And within the community, I'm known as Graham Lifebringer. We haven't had such a rosy relationship because one of my ministries is to bring the cutting word. If you know anything like baptism or baptism religion, you'll know that the gifts of spirit do incorporate that, and that's one of my gifts. Oh, there's a whole video about the gifts of the spirit. Like I say, Neil, check me out. I've got nothing to hide, but a lot I believe to give. But all I'm asking you for is to consider doing a concert for the ladies of the Philippines. I know you're probably booked up. I know this is what you do, Neil. Bless your heart. But it doesn't have to be in the Philippines, obviously, because not many people are there because of the way it's devastated. But even if it's just something in America, you know, for the ladies of the Philippines, and it spread their cause as well. They are special ladies. And Maddy have no trouble gathering together names of people that deserve to receive money from this benefit. Similar position to herself. She's shy. I've been pestering her to do this herself, but I'm going to send this to her and she can perhaps endorse it with a little bit or a few photographs of herself and then forward it to one of your fan clubs, right? Yes, that's the way my mind's working because bless her, she's a delicate little soul and a very simple-hearted soul, a heart of gold, Neil. Oh, yeah. That's Maddy. That's how I describe her. A heart of gold. Yeah. And she's got 4 lovely kids. And I've adopted her. She's officially, I say officially, she is my godchild. But I want her to learn to stand on her feet. And she's got a lot to give. If she gets involved in organising this concert, hopefully it'll put her on another footing. Because it's part of what I'm trying to start. The vision is Black Unicorn Charity. May I humbly ask that you check that video out and you see, I haven't got it with me, I normally always carry it with a poster. And you might consider, once you've done that, I'd like you to become a patron of the Black Unicorn Charity. Now, you can't say yes or no at the moment, but once you've checked it out, I think you'll see it's a very good, solid thing, and it'll be instrumental in the relief of suffering all over the world. Its mantra was the art of the relief of suffering, which in Yorkshire means this is how you do it, the art of bread making, for instance. And this was given me many, many years ago, Neil, but it wasn't right. The people weren't certainly ready for it. The sort of people I asked, Richard Branston, I got to him, even though it's hard to get these people using a fax. Various other people, Pete Townsend of The Who, well, say no more, give it all away, yeah. And obviously was quite discouraged. No one took up the baton. And all I was asking them was not so much money, although I need money, the same sort of thing. We'll do a benefit concert or, you know, put your name towards it. But no one wanted it. It's too big. Because this thing will just blow the whole music industry, if you want to call it that, out of the water. Because essentially what it is an alternative promotional agency for all the performing arts. And there's so much in it, I won't go into it now. I suggest you check out the video, but it's got a lot of brilliant ideas, things like joint benefits, multimedia events, workshops. So these won't just be ordinary concerts. There'll be strings attached, like if we did a show and it incorporated poetry or any of the arts, anyone who wanted to do a workshop in poetry could sign up, and there'd be like a follow-up the next day, this sort of thing, encouraging people to actively get involved in the performing arts. Also, all the necessary technical skills, lighting, mixing, something that perhaps people haven't considered, but are a vital part of the whole, if you like, performing arts machine. You've got to have a good mixer, and when they realise how important these roles are, all they've got to do is have a good ear. And then the actual technical side is a piece of piss, especially with digital mixers nowadays. Far superior to the old analog shite and digital recording. It's just another world. I would say to anybody, don't bother buying an analog recorder, they're a waste of space. Digital, see, converts everything into digital information, noughts or one, and then converts it back perfectly. What's it? No stems, no seeds that we don't need. Digital recording. It's a bit of a cheek and chong, you know what I'm on about, but that's right. In analog, we get a load of added stuff that we don't need. We then got to filter it out. With digital, there's none of that. You get a perfect recording level. I use a mini disc, a digital mini disc recorder to master down. It's a 4-track, but I've only ever needed 2. Just simple little tricks like panning the left right over to the left side, panning the right to the right, so the signal clearly is split between the two. And then on playback, just putting the mix back to the centre or near. Then of course there's 2 sliders. I generally work with music and vocals, if you follow me. So you can have a multi-track thing going on to one side as the mastering recording, right? People, I'm in Tesco's. And, well, it's worked perfect for me. I've had a lot of history again. I ran a thing called Shamanic Studios, which was a recording studio for people with disabilities. Totally radical. Needless to say, the local council closed it down because it exposed all their pathetic ideas, what they were, a pile of shit. I'm someone who has a disability myself, but through my own efforts, I've come quite well to terms with it. I mean, a manic depressive or schizophrenic is a potential genius. And I think I've proven that. Because there's now technology where we can monitor our brain waves. It's called Muse. And it's just a headband. It can be an extended version of it, but simply put, it's showing that certain people have far more parts of their brain active than do others. This is a clear sign of genius. Well over 80% of our brains are functioning, whereas normal people, normal people do scare me, have less than 5%. They would say in street language, they're thicker shits, compared to us. And this will be verified through DNA. So there'll be no one on ego trips and, oh, I'm very intelligent. Oh, are you really? Well, it's map your brainwaves then. How still can you get? This Muse is incredible for helping you do that. It's a biofeedback mechanism. So you do mindfulness meditation, which the technique itself is just watching your breath. But what you're meant to do is every time your mind wanders, bring it back like a little puppy dog, right, to your breath. This technology helps you do that, very effective, because it has a soundscape, meaning it can be, for me, I really like the sea coming in and out, because that's how I used to meditate in Crete. I'd sit on the beach and facing the sun, and the sound of the sea coming in and out was a soothing, well, it's the earth connecting right in with the earth. And if your mind starts to wander, the soundscape increases. So you suddenly realise it's biofeedback, and so you come back to the mind. And you can do as little as 5 minutes to start off. There's no ego thing, but that's enough to start the process. And then you can do more, maybe an hour, whatever a day, whatever you've got time and inclination to do. And it's a very powerful tool to enable you to really still down and to chill out. Be still and know you are God. Well, there you go. This is a means for anybody to achieve that. It's £200, but well worth every penny. When you think you can pay going to gurus and all the rest of it, this you don't. It's your own brain, it's your own mind, and you see it. It actually records your brain pattern, right? Your frequency, if you follow me, the activity of your brain. And you get a picture, a map, and you can see it. And you're given free basic information. Those periods where you've really chilled down, and apparently you can hear little birds cheeping, which it's a sign you've really achieved a state of stillness. Those times that you've wandered off, right, and you've had to bring your mind back, and those times again where you're relatively still. And so you've got a target, which is biofeedback. You can see scientifically what's going on within your meditational practice. And again, all mindfulness is watching the breath. You're not, how can I put it, contemplating something. That's different. You can take a seed thought, like one of your lyrics, Neil, right? A seed thought. There's a world you're living in. No one else has your part. You can take that into meditation, and suddenly you'll find your parts being revealed to you. And it is a unique part. So you are definitely inspired. And I don't think you need to be told that. People have, and rightly so, put you on. I got turned on to you by a very special man, and he was experimenting with mescaline. Well ahead of his, he was a college student, get it? And this is the big thing then. They had access to these high quality psychedelics. We on the street didn't. We had rubbish, microdot or whatever crap. But this is genuine, pure mescaline that had been made probably by college students and was the real thing. Because mescaline has, like any organic psychedelic, is a big till like this because it had all the other components, which when people are making synthetic stuff, they want to take all that out. And that's why you get microdot, which was laced with strychnine and all that. This is unscrupulous people who wanted to get people hooked, mixing amphetamine with it's just bollocks, but these are unscrupulous people. I've got to give this guy a decline because I'm nearly going to wrap this up. I've only been 18 minutes. So what I'm going to do, Neil, you'll see, I'll pass this on to Maddie because she's shy. And this is the bones. This is it. We'd like you to do a benefit concept for the women of I call it the ladies of the Philippines, because they are. Whether you mention, that's my mention. Graham Clark, but Laird, Graham Clark, Lifebringer, believes they are descendants of Mary Magdalane. No one can prove they're not. No one can prove they are at the moment. But that's irrelevant. I'd say it's irrelevant, but the thing is, it's the physical situation they're in. Repeat, they've not only been through these storms that have caused a lot of attention in the media, but also had a volcanic eruption. And Maddy's home was one of the homes destroyed in this, as were many other people. And this is her family home. Get it? It's not just their big extended family. I've promised to help. I've just won £500,000 on the lottery, but I realise that is earmarked more for my charity. And I feel it's a more appropriate response to get her motivated, see? Because if she's part of my family, which she is, we are going to be doing Black Unicorn, which is what? Organising events for charity, but in a lot more efficient way. But that hasn't taken off yet. It'll be done on computer, and it can have people all over the world. They become a black unicorn rep or whatever, and they're the person that people can connect with if they want a concert done. They're a person that they can connect with if they're prepared to play for charity. So there'll be a register of artists and their contact people, because obviously they don't want people ringing them up, saying, well, are you available to do a concert, or when are you available? A lot of these artists, it's in their financial interest to do so much work for charity a year. They get tax relief, as people like Mick Jagger are well aware, right? And so once you've reached, in my opinion, once you've reached a degree of wealth, like the Mick Jaggers and the thing, 23 or whatever it is, million, they should work for free. Like you do benefit concerts, that's all you need to do. If you love playing music, that's you made, isn't it? As long as you've got your financial needs met, which I'm sure you have, but then start a charity then, Neil. That's it. If you want an answer to that one, well, hold on, I haven't actually. Start a charity. Be anything you want. And then you can apply for Black Unicorn to do a benefit for you as a charity. That's the beauty of, that's just the magic thing. If you're a charity or you become part of a charity, then you're open to permanent support, permanent security, then that'd be the word I use, yeah. So everyone knows the way forward. You've got an artistic skill and ability. Don't become part of the commercial world, because that is about to flop. The multi-million, the average promoter earns millions of pounds just promoting shows. It's disgraceful. And the artiste only earns a fraction of that, right? So it's become corrupted like everything else. We all started out with high ideals. Oh yeah, man, we'll do it for free and that. And look what happened to us. We get management involved. They've got to have their pound of flesh. They're not going to manage it for nothing. With the theatre, sorry, that's its old name. With Black Unicorn, it will do everything, because it'll be all on computer. So minimal staff. Our staff is a non-profit organisation. So that means staff will be paid a realistic wage, and it will be worked out according to their needs. I.e., someone's got 6 kids or 6 dependents, they will get more than someone that's only got 2. And these can be aunties, whatever, grandmas or whatever. If they're a bona fide dependent upon you, because either the state is not looking after them or whatever, then yeah, that is how the salaries will be worked out. And obviously there'll be a lot of young people who haven't got dependents. They'll be doing the same job as a married person. There might be some scale incorporated with years of service, because that brings wisdom. So we've got someone who's been a sound engineer for 10 years. So he's got a lot of ability and understanding. We would obviously consider that he deserves more pay than someone who's just trading up. But all these things can be worked out and it can be constantly reviewed. The emphasis is this is a non-profit organisation. So our motivation isn't to make profit. Our motivation is to serve, and as effectively as possible, and to relief of suffering as effectively as possible. I did hear some good news in the grapevine anyway, that soon there will be a lot of good things happening, and that maybe Black Unicorn will come obsolete. I don't know. No, I think there's always going to be a place for people to do live performances, and the energy that generates. And even if it isn't a big multi-buck making thing, but it can be. Someone like yourself, of course, you can get onto the media, satellite links and all this, and people will be prepared to pay so much to watch you on telly. Why not? And all that can be then put back into the cause that's, you're trying to raise the money for. So that might be something you've got a problem with, but I assure the technology is there and it's to be used. Yes, we can have satellite link-ups. Band-Aid showed that. Admittedly, it wasn't as effective because loads of people did just sit around their telly, get their smoke in and have a good party and didn't give fuck all. Okay, there's a place for that, I suppose. But obviously all the satellite technology and that has to be paid for. And that cut out the come into the overheads of the event. It swings and roundabouts. There are ways to do this. People watch wrestling, for God's sake, and are prepared to cough up a bit of extra money because it's a unique channel. They can't just get it without paying something. Same thing, we could call it the Black Unicorn Channel. And always on the Black Unicorn Channel, there are charity events. Whatever they are, various art forms, could be dance, theatre, because that's what it incorporates. But when you're watching a Black Unicorn event, money is being generated for the relief of suffering. You know that. And you've got a choice. Or do I support these big fat cat promoters who are millionaires and fat pigs, whatever you want to call them? Or do I prefer to watch something that's a Black Unicorn event? You know what I prefer, because the karma alone is good. Yeah. And as for the artistic quality, well, no, it'd be better than conventional TV. The BBC, right? The BBC's gone to the dogs. I just put my 2 pennyworth in there. Some idiot DJ has paid £2.3 million and they justify it by, well, lots of people want to watch the radio, listen to the radio. Yeah, they do. And they couldn't care if it's pig cunt Harry or motherfuck cunt doing it. Quite frankly, I know I wouldn't mind, as long as they're not an absolute moron and their choice in music is relative. You think I want to see all this shit that what's his name brings in, all these idiots that come in? Hi, Chris. Fuck you off. I want to hear music. And I want to hear people that've got something interesting to say, not some dipshit who's hardly, knows how to wash behind his ears. And this is the BBC at the moment now. TV presenters are paid thousands and thousands of pounds on the same analogy. Well, 20 million people watch this. Yeah, well, they're going to watch it, whatever they want to watch the news. It's absolute nonsense. And this is how they've justified it. And it's meant to be a public broadcast organisation to serve the public. We own the BBC. Get it? And if we cut back on all these ridiculous salaries that are being paid, we have a better service. Something like what Facebook provides. A live video channel that anyone within reason can go on and broadcast their own opinions and ideas. And it's freedom of choice. Someone likes what I'm saying, they tune into me. Someone likes what King Wallace says, they tune into them. So I give Facebook its due. This is a brilliant concept and it needs to be expanded upon. But Facebook actually links in, a lot of people don't know that, with YouTube. So I'm doing a video now on Facebook, right? And it's live. So who knows, 10, 20, 1,000, who knows, whatever number eventually gets to see this. But within minutes of doing this, I can upload it to YouTube, which means people can watch it on their TV. And I've got a permanent record there, over 100 videos that cover everything that I've done. They cover the theatre of unemployment. They cover Black Unicorn. Well, what is Black Unicorn? Well, it's there on video. So you just slap it on your telly and watch it with friends and you can discuss. I go through the whole Constitution on one video and all the other controversial issues. That's what I've been doing. I could be bumped off tomorrow. Might sound a bit dramatic. Oh yeah, there are people who don't like me. I had this really so-called FBI agent yesterday. He wasn't, scam merchant, but threatening to stop my money. And what was my bank account details? Scam merchants, filth. Even President Trump said that to me. He said, quote, Facebook is full of scam merchants. Well, yeah, I know that, but there's some good ones as well. And the people I'm involved with are good. The IMF, right? They have to be paid a certain fee when you win a large sum of money on the lottery. That's just the law. Yes, it is £500, but you get a certificate, which means I can travel all over the world with my money in cash. And it's straight through customs. It's got a certificate. IMF checked, IMF verified. There are cases of people that travel around the world with millions of pounds in their rucksack. Cash, there. And that's why they do it. Because you can take your money to any country in the world and deposit it there. And then when you move on, deposit it elsewhere. So although I've won the money here, very little's going into my account in Scotland, because my first work is in Thailand. I'm going to get married. And from there, go to wherever I'm there. Well, the Philippines. I've got work to do in the Philippines. There's wells to be dug, funding to be done, coming right back to you, Neil. Yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the Philippines because there's been a volcanic eruption. Didn't get much coverage in the news, but it will do because Maddy's going to go back to her home that has been destroyed and take photographs and send them to me. And they will be posted up. Or to you or anyone, you will see the damage that's been done. And she's got to somehow live there. I mean, it's a shelter, and as long as they don't have another storm, it is a warm climate, admittedly, but the house is devastated. And there are other houses of a similar ilk. And that's what hopefully this concert that you do will help stipulate it. And you can work that out with Maddy. Maddy can tell you, well, there's so many families, there's this, that, and the other. We collect a register of all the people that we feel should benefit from this concert. You can approve it as well. Yeah, that sounds right. And it's going to be infrastructure. Roads are going to have to be repaired. The water's a big problem. A lot of the water's been contaminated. That's where I come in. I'm experimenting and promoting a technology, but it's an old technology. It's pyramids. Pyramids purify whatever's put under them. You can get an oil well and stick a small pyramid on the top, and the oil flows better. So you get an increase in yield because the viscosity has changed. There you go. But you can get anything, water, and put that under a pyramid, and it's purified. This is what the pyramids in Bosnia are proving. The water's been under the pyramids in Bosnia for 30,000 years. And this has been carbon dated and proven. And the scientists are now beginning to concede that the pyramids in Bosnia are pyramids. They're not natural hills. Concrete blocks have been discovered. And this is now, it's virgin. It hasn't been destroyed. The tunnels are now and are being dug out. They're not dug out in a sense. They've been filled in to stop people from going in there. And this must have been thousands of years ago. And in those thousands of years, everything's just grown over the top and it just looks like a hill. And of course it does, because people weren't living there thousands of years ago, or were they? Someone built those pyramids 30,000 years ago. And it certainly wasn't humans, because we were nothing more than cavemen. We'll go down and build the pyramids today. Then, yeah, the aliens are going to show us how to do it. Well, a lot of speculation, but it shows how clear that it wasn't humans that built the pyramids in Bosnia. I mean, you can dispute the evidence, say it's fraudulent, but the flower that was taken, it was a leaf, was given to 4 different independent laboratories, and all of them came within a very short period of 30,000 years old. So as far as I'm concerned, that's the evidence. And until other evidence is found contrary, that's how old they are. Now we go to the pyramid water. There's been water circulating under these pyramids for 30,000 years. This water has a golden glow because water will dissolve everything. Diamonds, everything water will dissolve in time. So the mineral content of this water is, well, something else. It's got everything. It's probably got elements in it that we no longer have. Because of the pollution we've done, the soil is so polluted now that an ND doctor will tell you you need 60 essential minerals. And there's hardly anywhere in the world where those 60 essential minerals exist. So you can grow organic food till the cows come home. If the soil is lacking these minerals, your food is shite. That's right, you don't get everything you need because the soil itself has been contaminated. And that's through chemicals. Very few places, there's maps you can go online. A few places in America. And that's where you get these essential minerals you can get. I think it's Utah. And someone had the savvy to buy all the land up. And it's actually prehistoric land. There's land going back to the time of the dinosaurs. And this has those essential minerals. But it is estimated that that supply will run out. At the moment, you can buy a bottle of colloidal minerals for about 20 quid, which is a month's supply. A bargain if ever there was. But we've got to do something pretty quick, and that's what I'm working on. Alchemy. Yeah, the science of alchemy. Not changing lead into gold, but purifying water itself, because water does absorb everything around it. So we put the water under the pyramid. We put the water next to crystals. We put the water next to sacred water, because the aura of the water from the Ganges, the aura from the water from various other sacred sites, Lord, you name it, penetrates the water underneath it and next to it. It just radiates across. So it's an etheric purification, not physical. You could take a sample of the water I drink and there's nothing in it. Oh, a slight bit of colloidal silver. I add colloidal silver because it's a natural antibiotic. And I do add sometimes vitamin C, but pure vitamin C. Not, because vitamin C actually is a preservative and it's used in various industries to preserve things. So put a little teaspoonful of vitamin C and all that stuff will be preserved. Well, I just add that to my water, very small quantity, and that helps strengthen my immune system. So it's all purely natural products, nothing synthetic. All your drugs you can put under the pyramid, synthetic drugs, everything, and it will purify them. That's right. Don't take my word for it. Go on your web browser and stick Russian pyramid research. I could even name the scientist. Begins with D, but you'd find it. Russian pyramid research. And you'll see this is really hot off the cake. This is up-to-date research. Yeah? And you'll see that the evidence is there. It's all scientific. This isn't theories. This isn't archaeology. Because that's a load of bollocks. Pyramids weren't used to just stick dead pharaohs in. There are more pyramids found without any pharaohs in them than there were. The pharaohs are buried in the, Valley of the Kings, for God's sake. And yet still they perpetrate this twaddle because it's good for tourism. We'll go and look around the pyramids, yeah. There weren't nothing at all to do with what the Egyptians have claimed. Well, not the Egyptians, but the modern day Egyptians. One pyramid has a chamber, but it's a chamber, and the body wasn't found in there. It was used for initiation. There wasn't a dead pharaoh's body in the chamber. That was down in the Valley of the Kings. So it's an initiation place, a place where people went. And you can still do that initiation now. You can buy and construct your own pyramid. On eBay, 50 quid, you can get a kit, 3D printed. And it's made of plastic, which is another thing they discovered. Metal isn't very good for pyramids because it's an electronic energy that is brought up from the earth, whether it's magnetism or whatever. It has an electrical component to it. So they found that you don't want any metal in your pyramid, but plastic's brilliant. So the pyramids they used were plastic based. Yeah, incredible. And they're big, admittedly, but a small one in your home, there's going to be water purifiers. In fact, I might jump in on that myself. Pyramidical water purifiers. Every office will have one. And all this is an ordinary water purifier, chiller, but it's got a pyramid on the top that can be resolved and orientated north. And that water will be far superior to any bottled water you can buy. And it can be tested and verified, which it is being verified. My tap water is more pure than any bottled water because it's taking part of the aura of the pyramids in my roof. Because the stream passes right by my house and I've measured it. It's got far less parts per million than some of this bottled shite. It's right down to 50, and yet some of this stuff's right up to 200 parts a million. Showing you the power that pyramids have. And they also affect the weather. This has been researched and proven. Yeah, the weather is affected by pyramids. Put in a scientific fashion, orientated nerve in groups of 3, and storms, typhoons, and that avoid it like the plague. You don't get earthquakes, and this is what the Russians have found. They've even built them on known, how can you put it, volcanic eruption fault lines, right? They've targeted them. No more earthquakes. Admittedly, it's new. We're only looking at 10 or 20 years research. So that's why the media hasn't got hold of it. They're just sitting on the fence watching. But this is really good news. The old joke, we have the technology to rebuild our planet. And it has been given us thousands of years ago by extraterrestrials, call them what you will. They did come down and give us this technology, because that's what it is. And it's not just some place where you stick a dead body, and anybody can build a pyramid themselves. And anybody can look into the research in Russia and see the practical applications. You can put seed in a pyramid, leave it, and then plant it, and you'll get an increase in yield. And it will also be disease resistant. You can put granite blocks in a pyramid, and it changes colour. And then you can put that granite round the edge of a field, and the whole field will act as if it's got a pyramid over it. And the yield will be increased. And this is so-called Russia, the so-called violent state. No, and guess what? This is the biggest joke of all. It's the Russian army that have been doing all the work. So it's a scientist who instigated it, a scientist who got the grant, but it's the army because they're sitting around kicking their heels doing nothing. And it's the army's technological radar that's being used to monitor the energy fields. And they can see a beam of light coming out the top of the pyramid, sometimes up to 1.5 miles high. Something's going on, Wilma, yeah, because they can see it and plot it. They plotted the energy field around the base of a pyramid. So it's not just within the confines of the pyramid above. There's like an auric field around the base. And anything within that auric field takes on the purifying benefit of the pyramid. So it's incredible. But this isn't being made widely known. We hear all the bad news. What's it? President Trump's, what a load of shite. The energy and the time that's wasted on this petty rubbish about whether President Trump flirted with this woman. Who gives a fucking shit? Yeah, we're all human. Have you never flirted with someone? And yet they're treating it like he's having sex with every woman. What a load of crap. And it's the women themselves that are flaunting themselves at him, if it be known. I suggested to President Trump he get some women security guards and they spot these hussy sluts a mile away with their low-cut dresses and they're stooping down in front of them to flash their tits. Yeah, that's what's going on. He's being set up. They've wised up now. It's a bit late. The media have got, oh, you know, President Trump some sexual predator. He hasn't got time, for Christ's sake. You know how much free time a president has. You need to have a reality check. Nearly every minute of their day is mapped out. So many meetings, this, that and the other. Got to be here, there and the other. Where the hell's he having all this time to screw bloody women? It's nonsense. Absolute crap. And yet people are accepting it. Everyone likes to hear the dirt on people, but not the good. And that's where our society's got. We all love a juicy, nice bit of rumour, a bit of gossip, bit of slander. But when someone tells you the truth, oh, do you want to know that? No, I'd rather know the slutty slander and the terrible things he's meant to have done. How often do we hear the good things that Mr. Trump's done? And then he's accused of blowing his own trumpet. He is, because no other cunt is. And I think I'll end there, because I'm getting very angry.